guys, it's Alex, and you might have noticed things are a little different this week. My video is not out until Tuesday this week. Normally they're out by Monday, but I was too exhausted to record Sunday night, and I didn't have time to record Monday, so I recorded Tuesday morning and put it out. So I'm sorry if you've been waiting. You may have also noticed that the show was different this week, and that it took place entirely at the Wall. The only other time the show has ever only taken place in one location is during Blackwater in episode 2, when the show, obviously took place in King's Landing as they had the Battle of Blackwater. So that was an interesting thing this week. I have to say that I was a little disappointed in the episode. Like, it was a good episode, but it didn't grip me as much as I thought it would. I needed more, I guess, but normally the 9th episode of the season is when, like, the big stuff goes down. You have the Red Wedding and Ned Stark's beheading, but this season they said that, episode 10 was going to play a little bigger part than normal, so maybe the good stuff's all, being saved for next week, and I have an inkling of how I think that the next episode's going to end. I think I'll share that at the end, that way if you want to, avoid spoilers, you can. But I've been feeling this way all season, and I'm so excited to talk about it. Because, it's going to be good if it happens, like how I think it will. So let's get into it. So, the episode starts with Sam and Jon on their, night watch on the Wall. And Sam starts asking Jon about being with Ygritte. Like, he wants to know what it's like to be with a woman, because he's thinking about Gilly, and Jon, being Jon, has no idea how to properly express what he's thinking or feeling or whatever, and he's just like, it was good, whatever. Like, he's not a very poetic person, but, he tells Sam to go to bed, and then it switches over to the Wildlings, and Ygritte is, really ticked off. The Magnar then starts, taunting her, pretending she hasn't been killing anyone. And she's like, I killed more people than you did. Thank you very much. And so then she tells everybody that if anybody tries to kill Jon Snow, because she's going to kill Jon Snow, she will shoot them. Sam doesn't go to bed immediately. He goes to the library. And Maester Aemon finds him there. And, he pretty much tells him, I know you're in love with Gilly. And he's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, dude, don't deny it. And then he tells Sam about, the time that he was in love when he was younger, and about how when he was Aegon Targaryen, all the ladies were dropping their panties to get with him. And Sam's like, oh, I guess I hadn't really thought of it that way, because he just thinks of Maester Aemon as being, old dude, And so they have a fun little moment there. And then Sam goes outside on his actual way to bed, and Gilly's at the gate, And once they finally get her in, because I think it was Pip was guarding the gate and he wasn't supposed to let anyone in, and Sam cusses at him, and then he's like, oh man, this is serious, I better let her in. And then Sam takes Gilly and the baby to hide in the storeroom. And Gilly gets all mad at him because he's going to go back out and fight, because, while all this is going on, the horns are sounding because the Wildlings are coming, and he explains to her, I have to do this, it's my duty, I care about my brothers, but I want you to be safe, so I'm going to keep you in here. And she's like, well, you just have to promise me you won't die. And he promises and kisses her, and it's very cute. Sir Alistair tells Jon that he had been right about the tunnel, and he should have listened to him, and they should have filled it in, because he sees how many Wildlings are out there, and he's about to pee his pants. Pip starts freaking out, because, he's like, I've never, used a real sword, what am I going to do? I can't handle this, and Sam, tries to comfort him, and he's like, how the hell did you, kill a White Walker? And Sam's like, I wasn't thinking about it, I just did it. When you have to survive and protect the people you care about, you do it. You don't think about it. And so that makes Pip feel a little better, apparently. Alas, things do not end so well for poor Pip. The Wildlings have giants riding mammoths, which was just one other thing that really makes me feel like the people who made Skyrim were really just pulling from, Song of Ice and Fire, because, the second I saw the Draugr in Skyrim, I was like, oh my gosh, they're White Walkers. It's the more I play Skyrim, the more I feel like they were just going through the Game of Thrones books, picking out things and being like, oh, hey, this looks good. But, I mean, granted, the giants in the show were not as big as the giants in Skyrim. The giants in Skyrim, seem to keep the mammoths as pets, but the giants in the show were riding the mammoths, and the mammoths seemed much larger than the giants. like, at least, like, the same height it looked like. But still, it seems like they were, like, borrowing liberally from, I don't remember if there were giants on mammoths in the book, or if there were mammoths at all. I remember there were giants, but it just, again, so much overlap between these two. So the Night's Watch is shooting flaming arrows down from the top of the wall, and then Sir Alistair realizes that some of them were trying to get through, like, a boarded up section of the gate or whatever, and he leaves Jaina Slint in charge of the wall and goes down to defend it. Slint starts, like, having a panic, anxiety, freak out attack thing, like, not able to handle anything, and so the guys trick him into thinking he has to go down, and Jon takes control of the wall. Sir Alistair gives a rousing speech down at the gates, as the wildlings break through, and everybody's all pumped to go fight, and Ygritte's, like, taking down, like, a gajillion guys, and they keep shooting arrows off the top of the wall with the wildlings, and, like, the Thenns are, like, everywhere, like, breaking everyone's necks, and it's intense, it's not like Red Wedding intense, but like a lot is going on and a lot of people are dying. The giants start trying to demolish the gate that leads to the tunnel, like I think the altar gate, I think it's called, an after gate, some kind of gate, and like they're like hooking up the mammoths to the gate and like trying to pull and stuff, and so Jon sends Gren to take a team down to defend the inner gate, and like they share a little moment before they go, because they're friends, and it's really kind of sad and sweet, but Gren, he's ready to go defend his home. Tormund and Sir Alistair are fighting, and Tormund gets Sir Alistair like really good, and he's really wounded, and they're trying to like pull him off to the side because he's been slashed on the abdomen. When Jon hears from Sam, because Sam's like, where's Jon? And like he's like up at the wall, and so Sam goes to the wall, but on the way, Ollie, the little boy that the Thenns had like killed his whole village and like sent him to go warn the Night's Watch, he's there freaking out like next to the elevator because he's like the elevator operator, and Sam's like, dude, just grab a weapon and get me to the top. And so Sam goes up there and he's like, Sir Alistair's down, and Jon's like, okay, Ed, you go to the wall, I'm going. And Sam's like, what are you gonna do? He's like, I'm just gonna go fight. And so they go down, and Jon has Sam go get Ghost, and then Ghost comes out and starts eating people. Jon starts fighting and taking people out, and like all that training from Pompeii is coming in handy. Let's just say that. Like, I didn't see Pompeii, but it paid off well. The Magnar Thenn sees him, and he rushes over, like, and they start fighting, and he knocks Jon's sword out of his hand, and Jon's, like, breaking out. He sees a hammer and bashes him in the head, and he dies. Magnar, not Jon. He looks up, and Ygritte is there pointing a bow at his heart. And they're just kind of staring at each other, and then Ygritte gets shot with an arrow and falls, and Jon looks over, and Ollie had picked up a bow that was near the elevator, and he, like, nods at Jon, like, yeah, I did it, I shot someone, I'm saving us, and Jon's just heartbroken, and as Ygritte is dying in his arms, they talk about, how they just want to go back to the cave that they had sex in and stay there forever, and it's really sad. I knew it was going to happen, and I even, we were talking about the show Sunday morning, and I was like, Ygritte's going to die tonight, which, it's kind of a logical conclusion. Jon Snow's lost so much, and I know that he didn't really think he'd be with Ygritte again, and he knew that Ygritte was, really mad at him, but even though they still loved each other. The guys on top of the wall shoot one of the giants, and kill him. The other giant gets so mad that he goes down and lifts the gate by himself. Gren and his team are down there, and they see the giant coming in, and they start freaking out, so they recite their vows to calm themselves. The Wildlings are essentially defeated. Tormund is still alive. Jon has him taken captive for questioning. Sam goes to get Gilly, and Gilly almost hits him with some meat. They embrace, and then Sam realizes Jaina Slint has been hiding behind the door, because he got freaked out earlier. Instead of going to help fight, he went to the storeroom and found Gilly there, and Gilly's like, but he hides. He's a coward. The next morning, Jon and Sam are talking about how, they made it through the night, but the Wildlings are going to be back. Jon doesn't think they'll be able to survive more than, another night. We might be able to make it through tonight, but we wouldn't be able to make it through tomorrow, too. So he decides that he's going to go kill Mance Rayder, because he figures it's all that can be done. And Sam's like, are you sure about this? And he's like, yeah, and they go down to the tunnel, and they find Gren and his team dead, but the giant is also dead. And they were able to save everybody, hold them off. Jon's like, they died for us. You know, I'm not gonna let that be in vain. You know, he goes off. That's the end of the episode. It happened differently in the books. Like, in the book, Jon still goes to Mance Rayder, but it's his punishment, because Sir Alistair and Jaina Slynt hadn't been there when the battle started. They came, like, in the middle of the battle and held Jon's trial afterwards. They hadn't already, like, discussed his transgressions with the Wildlings or anything. And so they're thinking, oh, well, we'll send him off to Mance Rayder to, like, parlay or whatever. Parlay, right? I don't know. Whatever. To talk, you know? And they're thinking, well, he's gonna be dead. This will get him out of our hair, you know? And that's not what happened. So, yes, my thoughts about the next episode, well, how it's going to end anyway. So, you know, as they would say, I'll figure it out. If you don't want to hear, you know, cover your eyes, close your ears, whatever, because I'm going to talk about it. I am fairly certain they are going to close the season with Lady Stoneheart. Like, I've been feeling that way since, like, the first episode. And I am so excited to see if I'm right. Like, how epic would that be? Like, to end the episode that way. It gives me chills just thinking about it. It's gonna be good. See you next week for the finale. Bye.